Yo, what is up guys? It's the Goblin and welcome back to another Fortnite video. In today's video, it's going to be the ultimate guide on assault rifles and rifles in Fortnite Battle Royale. How to aim better, how to have perfect aim with them, when to hold down the trigger, which variants are better than others, and when to tap fire. Everything you need to know about rifles in this game. Now, I'm not going to be covering the hunting rifle because that one uses heavy ammo. That's more of like a sniper rifle. This is about rifles, assault rifles, I guess you could say in general. And basically, we're going to be talking about each of them and everything you guys need to know. So if you guys could smack a like in this video, let's go for 290 likes. Smack that like button, that'd be absolutely awesome. And of course, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. We just recently got about 50,000 subscribers. The channel is growing so quickly, and I know you guys are loving these tip videos. It's just been an awesome experience overall. You know, doing Fortnite videos, I've been loving it. So if you guys are new and you're not already subscribed, go ahead and click that button, smack the like, and let's talk about it. Now, there's four different types of assault rifles, basically. The main four that you're gonna have to worry about. You've got the auto rifles, which come in gray, green, blue. Then you have your burst rifles, which come in the same as that. Then you have scoped rifles, which I believe scoped. I'm not an expert on scoped rifles, but I think they're blue and purple. I'm not sure. Might be wrong on that. And then you have the Scar, which of course is another fully auto one, which comes in purple and then gold. And that is probably the best out of all of these. So in different situations, what you're going to want to do is the scoped rifle is the first one. Now, a lot of people think the scoped rifle is useless. In my opinion, it is useful, but it's only at very, very long range. In squad games, if you don't have a sniper, you can pick up that scoped rifle and use it as your, put it at the end of your inventory. But that's not, your mid-range rifle that you're going to want to rely on. For those, you're going to be dealing with the Scar, the Burst, and the fully auto rifle. And those are the ones that you're going to want to deal with. Now, of course, the higher level you get, the better the weapon is going to be. So your greens are better than your gray, your blue is better than that. And then if you get the Scar in purple or gold, which is even better, that's basically how those go. I'm pretty sure everyone knows that. I just want to make sure we're all on the same page here. Now, the rifle is what you're going to be working with the most time because it is the most common out of all of these. It performs very similar to how the Scar would perform because they're fully auto. However, the burst weapon is a severely underrated one and one that I want to talk a little bit about. So that shoots in 3-round bursts, I believe it is. And the thing about that rifle is on console where there's auto aim, the auto aim is so unbelievably powerful on that burst rifle. And if you hit full burst, you can do so much damage and you can kill people in literally one burst or a couple of bursts if they have some armor on, and I find that weapon is amazing. So how I like to rank my rifles is I'll always go with the fully automatic one, but if I find a burst, like a blue burst, I'm going to take over a green AR, of course, because you should be able to use both of those weapons. But when it comes down to either a blue burst or a blue fully auto rifle, which is the big debate, right there it goes up to personal preference. In my opinion, if you're fighting people at more of a longer range, that burst weapon is probably going to be better, but anything for mid-range, you're going to want to stick with the blue fully auto. But I know a lot of people are divided on that. Some games I'll stick with the blue burst, some I'll go with the blue AR. It all depends on how you're feeling and what your preference is as far as that goes. So let's talk a little bit about different weapons, how you can shoot these weapons, and how you can control the recoil or the bloom, because tap fire versus holding down the trigger is a big debate here. So first thing about shooting with a rifle is you want to be crouched while shooting. Now, if you crouch and you stand still, you can make slight movements left to right as you're adjusting your shot, but by crouching, it tightens your crosshair and it makes your aim a lot better, which is sort of an obvious tip, but it's one that I see a lot of people play the game and don't really know about. By doing that, by making sure if you watch any gameplay of anyone who's decent at this game or good at this game, you will see they are all crouching when they're taking their shots, and that's definitely the way you want to do it. That is how you can be more accurate. Now, as far as the different levels or rarities of the weapons, the higher level your weapon is, the more likely, the more able you are, I guess you could say, to hold it down and not have the recoil and the bloom go everywhere. So if you have a gray AR, you're probably, and it also goes with range, if someone's close to you or medium range, you're probably going to want to hold it down. If someone's far away in the distance, you're going to want to tap fire on that. Now, there is no bullet drop on assault rifles. That's something you only have to worry about with the sniper rifle, hunting rifle, and stuff like that. You don't have to worry about that on rifles, so you aim right for their head or for their body, whatever you want to go for, and that's how it works. Now, the thing is, with a common AR, or like a gray one or a green one, those ones you're not really going to be able to hold it down at anything longer than close-ish medium range. If you have the blue assault rifle, I recommend holding that one down unless they're way off in the distance. And with the Scar, with the purple or the gold, I usually hold down both of them. And that's something that really made me a lot better at this game. I see some people trying to tap fire the weapons and control the weapons at a medium range. And by doing that, you're a lot better just to, hold down, as long as you have a decent variant, just hold down the trigger and wait for the bullets to connect. Now, sometimes there will be bloom, you'll be right on the enemy and the bullets won't be connecting. But when you're holding down that trigger, of course, you're sending so much fire their way that eventually you're going to kill them. Now, if you realize you're holding the trigger and you have your crosshair right above them and you miss like 10 shots in a row, at that time is what I would call for a reset. Now what a reset is if you're crouched down, you're holding down the trigger and you're missing all your shots, you can simply reset by moving to the side, stopping shooting, moving to the side for a second, and then shooting again, and that should completely reset your bloom. So if you decide to mix up from maybe you go fully auto for the first 20 shots, then you want to tap fire for the next 10, do a quick reset, and that's how you'll be able to aim better with those ones. But as far as the Scars, those are the weapons you're going to want to find most often, because those are the ones where you can hold it down and just do an insane amount of damage. And tap firing still is valuable with those, but it's more of a long range thing. Of course, no bullet drop, and that is how you can work with these different assault rifles in this game. Now, the other question is the assault rifle your most important weapon, and where should it be in the inventory, and also when should you use it? So the first thing, is your assault rifle the most important thing in your inventory? In my opinion, it is. And if you look at most players, they will keep it on the first slot in their inventory. A lot of people always ask me on a guide, where should you keep different stuff? So I'll talk about that briefly in this video here. Usually how I'll have it is I'll have my rifle right next to a shotgun of some sort right beside it, and then I'll go more into the healers, the consumables, the launchers, all that other stuff on the far right side of my inventory. You want to have your assault rifle right next to another weapon you can switch out to. Usually assault rifle into a shotgun, into another shotgun, or an SMG is how you're going to want to go. Now at times, when are you going to want to use the assault rifle? You're going to want to use it at any place that's longer than shotgun range. I guess the SMG, most people don't really carry SMGs. I honestly don't either. If you find the purple one, it is really nice, but the SMG is more of going from a shotgun shot into the SMG. Rifles are the weapons you're going to have to rely on, and they're weapons that use medium ammo as well, and that's something you also have to keep an eye out for, because ammo in this game, it depends. On some games you'll have 999 ammo, and other games you'll be relying on 30 till the end. You also have to take that into consideration. Now the other thing with the rarities of assault rifles is the higher the rarity is, not only the easier to control it is, it also does it will be able to take out people's bases faster. So shooting a guy's base with a common rifle versus a Scar, you're going to be wasting bullets more likely with the common than you are. You just have to keep an eye on your bullets and keep an eye on what you're doing with that to basically get a feel for that. But as far as having a good rifle shot, I think the two most important aspects of a good Fortnite player is having that good rifle shot, as well as having good building and having a good shotgun shot. Those I think are probably the three most important aspects of a player, and of course movement and all that other stuff is very important as well. But those are the ones you're going to want to focus on. Now the way to basically practice this is it's from playing the game a lot. Of course I can sit here and give you tip videos which are very helpful, but you have to play the game and you have to use different weapons so you can understand their patterns. There's no really pattern. It's more of a trial and error with these weapons, and you'll basically, once you've experienced the Scar, you'll know that holding it down will do a lot better. But that's something like in season 2, before season 3 started, I always thought that like, oh my gosh, these guns are so hard to control, that's why I just tap fire, when in reality holding down the trigger can make it go out of control, but eventually some of those bullets are going to hit, and as long as you don't panic, and sometimes people will panic and start to tap fire, sometimes people will panic and start to full fire when they're at a distance. It all comes down to the distance, the rarity of your gun, and how accurate your shot is and how comfortable you are. Of course, if you're unsafe, you probably want to tap fire, move, but holding down the trigger is a great way to get some free hits, especially if you have the Scar and unlimited ammo. Another tip I'll give is if you have unlimited ammo, use it. Spray up people's bases. If you're late game with a Scar with 999 ammo, start shooting at people's bases. Sometimes you get the lucky, people will, if they're smart, turbo build and hold down the trigger to rebuild or whatever, but sometimes people won't do that, and you can get a couple lucky shots in and then decide to rush someone with your shotgun or your rifle, and that's how most of your battles are going to go. Get a couple hits in with the rifle, rush them with the shotgun, and that's basically rinse and repeat until you're able to get a win. I definitely think this guide should help you guys out with rifles, and I want to know in the comment section down below, what do you guys prefer, a blue burst or a blue automatic? I know some people even prefer blue burst burst over Scar. However, I think that's for really, really advanced players who have, of course, if your aim is really, really good, the burst is going to work well for you, but that all depends on, you know, personal preference. So that's basically how I rank them and how I would say to improve and get a better shot with your rifles. Hopefully this does help you out on when to hold down and when to tap fire. Just remember distance, rarity, and those are the things you got to focus on. Thanks for watching, guys. Smack the like button, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new.